this is not working.
You ever seen an editing? Like,
Alright, y'all. So right now I'm here around 289. Let's see. All right. What's going on, y'all? TikTok, what up? Can y'all hear me good? Let me know if the audio's good. Finally. Holy shit. All right, cool. We rocking. We rocking and rolling. We rocking and rolling. We rocking and rolling. All right, let's see where we at with things. Yo, what up, Guap? What's good? All right, let's see where we're at with things now. I'm gonna switch this to Meta. So Meta's finally breaking out. It's so unfortunate. These calls are smoked unless we get a gap up tomorrow. I need to see Nvidia. So QQQ looks like it might want 612 sometime today. I mean, not today. Excuse me. This week. SPX, if we can get a strong close above 6750, it's possible we can see 6800 by next week on SPX. I lost $600 today. Damn. You gotta size properly, my boy. You gotta size properly. Unless that was a part of your plan, you know what I'm saying, and that's just the size account that you're working with, then hey, you gotta take them. You know, one of the biggest things about trading is like you're not gonna always be green, and you gotta know how to size correctly for the amount you have in your account. If you're not, you know, you might lose a substantial amount of your trading money the budget that you did have for trading. You might lose a substantial amount of that strictly off of not having the right risk management rules, which is why I always tell people, man, like trading is very a lot of the times is so related to money that people think that just because I come in with more money, it's going to be easier for me to make money. While granted, having capital does make things easier, it definitely can weigh on your emotions a lot more. Yo, Classic, thank you for the badge, bro. No, thank you for the badge. Are you open to collaborate with prop firms? No, sorry. I primarily work with people with cash accounts. I'm not a big prop firm person. Not saying there's anything wrong with it, you know, people do what they want to do, but me, I'm not really a big prop firm person. Exactly, it makes the losses hurt more. Exactly, like a loss is gonna hurt a lot of people's ego. Everyone's ego is gonna get hit, you know what I'm saying? But you know, the key thing about trading is learning how to develop this mindset of like, it's a probabilities game, you know, like if you're meant to follow your plan, like if you're following your plan, which is the whole focus, right? And you know, let's say you have a 60% win rate. Well, the thing is, or not even 60%, let's say you have an 80%. 20% of the time, you're still going to lose. But you just got to make sure that your losses aren't outweighing your wins. Does that make sense? Like, that's one of the most brutal things for a lot of people. Is the reason they keep blowing their accounts, the reason they keep losing so much money is because they're not factoring how much money they're risking in the reward. They're only looking at the reward. They're not looking at the scenario of if the trade doesn't go your way, which a part of your plan, 20% of the trade shouldn't be going your way, because that's probabilities. It's trading. See what I'm saying? Does that make sense? So a lot of it, you know what I'm saying, is just being able to take your losses. But if you lost $600 today and you have a $25,000, you know, trading account, then hey, you know, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? Because it might be a small portion of your account. Now, if you have a $2,000 account and you just lost 600, you need to revalue or reevaluate your risk management rules. Like, how many people are trading with an account over 5,000 in here in this live right now? If you're under 5,000 as far as your account, say under, just put under. If you're over 5K as far as in your trading account, comment over. So if you're trading with under $5,000, comment under. If you're trading with over $5,000, comment over. Okay, so over, under, over, under. He said under 3 times. It's funny. Okay, so 7,200. Okay, that's good. So look, here's the thing, right? I'm gonna give everyone a word of advice, regardless of your account size, right? Because my account size is a little under $500,000, right? Leveraging more is great when you have the routine of following your plan down. Does that make sense? Like trading, when you start trading efficiently with a small amount of capital, if you can just learn how to take these rules and take these principles, right? If you can learn how to do this with a bigger amount of capital, you'll be able to grow quicker. But the thing is, I highly recommend to everybody, don't come into like trying to trade with an insane amount of capital. Always start with what you have around you, right? And what you feel like is going to be good for you to start with, and only work with that. Put 500 on earnings and there's your come up. No, see, look, that's gambling. You know what I'm saying? Now, can you do that? Yeah. Has it worked for people? Sure. But that is what I call gambling, because you got to also consider a lot of the times earnings can go either way. And then what happens when you take profits early and you only make 300 and then it goes 3,000? You know what I'm saying? Or what if it just goes straight to zero as soon as you take the trade? A lot of this happens. You got to have good risk management. Your risk management has to be ready so when you take a loss, it falls into line. Exactly. So like the key part about trading is just knowing how to take your losses. Like knowing that they're going to be there. It's not something you can escape. Some people, like, I feel like on these platforms, other traders, they try to sell like this 100% win rate or this 90% win rate. Absolutely. There's no 100% win rate. Let's just put that out there first. Second, let's say it's 90% win rate, 80% win rate. That shit doesn't matter, right? How can you handle the losses and can you handle your wins? And do your wins, right? Do your wins outweigh your losses? That's the only thing that matters. Hey, how can I get started? There's a lot of videos I have on YouTube that you can watch, but I do have a 7-hour video course in my bio. It's free. There's no card options or anything like that. So if you want to watch that, it's in my bio. Facts, I made $600 today and I'm done for the day. That's all you need. You know what I'm saying? Compound your account and come back another day. You know what I'm saying? So right now what we're currently looking at, up here at the top left, we have SPX. This is on the 30-minute time frame. Over here on the right, you have QQQ. This is also on the 30-minute. Down here we have Meta on the 1-hour time frame, and then we also have QQQ on the 1-hour time frame. So what am I looking at today? So today I called out UNH. I'll be breaking down this trade with you guys once the market, I'll probably break it down shortly with you guys. So I ended up calling out UNH for free on Twitter and on Instagram. A lot of people made money. I'll show you guys a lot of these people who made money as well. Actually, while I'm right here, I can show you guys. So this is the UNH call. So this is inside my Discord. We'll go over to trading profits. All right, biggest trade since I joined TSA. Shout out to Tez. Made $265, $629 on UNH, $134 on UNH, $330 on UNH. If we go over to the trading floor and I scroll up, you guys can see this is an everyday thing. This person hit 425% on this IWM trade, 200% on this trade, 28%, 143% on IWM, 350% on IWM, UNH around 40%, so about $1,000 made. UNH $256 in profit. Let's keep scrolling up, keep scrolling. 46% here on Dell. He's paper trading, so we'll just we won't look at that one. $230 here on UNH. So as you guys can see, like, we do this on an every single day basis. I'll go over UNH with you guys because I do think it's a good trade still for next week. So I'll go over it with you, but these are just some of the wins from today. If you guys check my Instagram as well, @_TheRealTez, you'll see all the people who took it from Instagram and Twitter. I sent the trade out for free. So you guys can look at the trade signal itself that I sent out yesterday, and you guys can see how it played out. It gapped up really nicely. It was a very clean trade. You just need to execute, honestly. How can I join your Discord? Sorry guys, my Discord is currently full. We are out of stock. We don't have any more slots left. I'll be opening up slots this Sunday. So if you have a 9 to 5 or some sort of cash flow from a business or something like that, let's just put it like this. If you have more than, I would say, $3,000 to your name, if you have more than that, I'm hosting a live trading workshop this Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern. It's only for 500 people. Currently, we have around 460 people registered in the first 3 days that I start promoting this again. So this is going to be the next one that we're doing. I probably won't do this for another month though, just because I don't really like doing them too often. But it's going to be basically a 2-hour Zoom class with about 500 other people. And I'm just basically giving you everything I know about the strat, smart money concepts, and risk management rules, all these things. So if you want to come to this live workshop, it's free to register. You just got to reserve your seat. Just click this link right here. Okay, just click mine right, this yellow button right here. All right, click this yellow button. You'll be able to put in the information and you'll get a text message. Do I have to show my income? No. Eddie, what's good, brother? What's good, bro? You do not need to show your income to be able to join this class, guys. I'm just saying. I don't think people should be trading unless you have active income, whether it's working a job or a business that generates money. I don't think you should be trading if you don't have money, because what happens is you end up gambling and you think that this is going to be the route that'll save you. This is not the route that'll save you. Trading is great to make more money because you're already making money. And what we do is we just take, the money and then go ahead and invest it. You know what I'm saying? Long term. I will always tell y'all long term first. Do we want to go over UNH right now, or do we want to see how the market closes out? Just comment now or wait. If you guys want me to go over UNH, the trade that I sent out, I'll give you guys the exact breakdown of why I took the trade. I'm pretty sure I went over it in live on Sunday, or what was that, Monday, the last time I went live. I can't remember what day I went live, but I broke it down to y'all in this live. So let me know, do you guys want to go over it right now, or you guys want me to wait? Just comment now or wait if you want me to wait on it. Affluent was good, bro. Wait, okay. Do you like futures? I think futures is cool. Shout out to everybody that trades futures. Shout out to everybody that trades futures. So QQQ here. If we can get a close above 610, I'll probably check the flow as well. So let me show you guys the flow app. Actually, it's over here. So I'm gonna grab this from this monitor. So this here is the flow app. So let me minimize this really quick. And I just needed to show premiums. Whoops, did not mean to do that. Crap, hold on one second, y'all. So this is how you see all the calls and puts flow, or how much money is being spent on these. So let me see if I can minimize this in so you guys can see this still. Can you guys see this? All right, let's just drag this over. Okay, you should be able to see this. All right, let me drag it over just a little bit more so you guys can see the tickers. Okay, this should do right here. Okay, perfect. So, yo, shout out to everybody in YouTube. What's good? What's good, y'all? Shout out to all my YouTube people. All right, so this is the flow, right? So I'm gonna refresh this, right? And the flow is great to know how much money is being put on a particular ticker while the market is live. So like right now, I can see all of this stuff. You see how it's updating? This is showing you how much money is being put in where. So if I move this back over to the left here and just go to about right here, and then I do this, okay? You guys should be able to see this just like this. So over here is premiums. Premiums is how much money is being spent on the contracts. You have the expiration date, so when the contracts are out until, and then whether they're buying calls or they're buying puts, and then where they're buying it. Are they buying it at the bid? Are they buying it at the ask? Are they buying it over the ask, over the bid? All these things are just different ways of reading how important is it for, or how quickly someone is trying to get into the trade. I think that's a better way of wording it, right? So when you're looking at the flow, right, and you look at something like UNH, okay, The reason that I ended up getting into this trade, one, because of the setup, but two, if you come over here and you look at premiums, if I go over here, go to filters, we go 15-day out contracts, look how much premium is being put on this trade, right? So today, this is just from today, someone put $10 million on UNH calls for next week. Someone else put 28 million on UNH calls for next week. Somebody else put $1 million on UNH calls. If we keep scrolling down, majority of it is call premium. So what does this mean right here? Net premiums is how much money is totally in this trade as far as what this platform has tracked. So there's about $44 million in majority of it. So it's 90% is green. That means 90% of it is calls. So this is showing you that this is where this is where smart money is putting their money right now, right? This is where a lot of these bigger accounts or people who are trading with bigger size, you know what I'm saying? This is where they're putting their money at. So when you learn how to read the flow, this is called Trady Ticks, Rena. It's called Trady Ticks. I did 433% on a trade because of him, so take his advice. Thank you, Drew. I appreciate that, bro. You still in UNH test? Of course. I was actually, I ain't gonna lie, I wanted to close out at right under 375, but the contracts just wasn't moving the way I wanted them to move. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, we'll play the gap fill. We got time on the contracts too. But like I was saying, guys, right? If you can learn how to read this flow, right, and you can learn where smart money is putting their money, it's not like you don't. The way you don't use this is by looking at this and saying, oh, somebody put $28 million on UNH calls. Let me go buy those. That's not how you use the flow. You basically use the flow as confirmation of the direction that you're trying to trade in. So like if we go over here and we go look at UNH, right? Oh my gosh, look at QQQ just moving, bro. Moving. Okay, so let's look at this, right? Let's go ahead and do this, and then we'll open up UNH. Let me just make sure you guys can see this clearly. Okay, so this is where you wanna. This is gonna be the learning portion of this. I love this. I'm glad you're here. Glad you liking it. Glad you're here. Okay, so let's take a look at this on the daily time frame because this is where the trade came from. So I'm gonna. Okay, there we go. Leave it like this. So right now, what you guys currently see, this red box, this is a gap, right? This means this is open space on the chart that has not been filled by price, right? Yes, Trady Ticks. Do you sell a course? Sorry, I don't have any courses to sell. Pretty much everything you want from me or need from me is going to be free. My group, I do have a Discord, but we're currently closed right now. We hit capacity last week. Sorry. So just take all the free information that I'm giving and just enjoy it. You know, hit the follow button, and I'm pretty sure you'll learn way more as you keep coming back. If you're on YouTube, just hit the sub. Yo, Rick, thank you for the follow, bro. Okay, so where did I get this trade from? Okay, if you look back here on the left, right, I always say this, right? When you're trading, you got to be able to mark out levels. So support and resistance. So I use like every indicator. TMT, thank you for the gifted, bro. Every concept that you learn is just support and resistance, right? TikTok's full of fry bots, I'm telling you, right? But listen to this, guys. Every system that you plan on trading is going to be support and resistance. Supply and demand, same thing as support and resistance. Using moving averages, those are the same thing as support and resistance. All of these things is just support and resistance. And I think that, you know, are there plenty of other strategies out there? Sure. But I think if you're a beginner in here and you're trying to get into trading, if you can just learn support and resistance first, it will make learning other concepts easier because there's levels that matter, right? Like what I mean by that is there's certain levels, whether it's support or resistance, when price breaks through, there tends to be more volume. So in a simpler way of putting this, right? A chart is a chart is a chart. Everyone's looking at the same chart. The person on Wall Street is looking at the same chart as you. I'm looking at the same chart as you. Your cousin that trade is looking at the same chart as you, right? Everyone's looking at the same type of charts. All of them have candlesticks and things like that. But how you evaluate these levels, how you evaluate support and resistance and where you decide to get in and out is where everyone's opinion will be different based off their strategy. Does that make sense? Drop a yes in the chat if y'all are following along so far. Right? Drop a yes in the chat if everything is just making sense right now. I'm not too complicated right now. Okay? Yo, 350 people on the check-in. Thank you guys so much. Glad to have you guys back. Hopefully you continue learning. Okay, cool. All right, perfect. So marking off this level. So look over here on the left. How did I get this level? This was resistance. So price was moving up at one point in time, and then it stopped and reversed really hard back down here. So I have support where it bounced from, and then I have resistance right up here where we rejected. So what I'm doing is I'm marking off this level. So we had just broken this level yesterday, right? This is when I called the trade out. I said, yo, I really like UNH above 362.50. Well, where did I get this level from? It's because we broke above this high or this resistance here. So I was open to taking calls, and my target was this open space up to this line right here, which is called a gap. So the market, when you're trading, charts don't like naked spaces or like open spaces on the chart. A lot of times these gaps will get filled, which means more candlesticks will come up and fill this open space. So this hasn't happened yet. So what I'm doing is I'm basically looking at this and I'm saying, hey, we broke this level. It's a pretty high likely chance that we could come up and maybe come back to this level here within, you know, a specific time frame. For me, I said maybe in about a week or two, right? So I bought 2 week out contracts. Now this sounds too easy. It's okay. It's supposed to be, you know, not as complicated as most other stuff out there, right? So once I seen this candle here, once we broke above, this was our entry, right? This was your entry. So I actually took this entry here about, what was it, 2 days ago? I took this on the 2nd. So I've been in this trade. The only reason I resent it out is because when it snapped back and it pulled back, it retested this support and it never broke under it. So I said, okay, this is confirmation, right? This is confirmation for us to take the trade. So I said, hey, it came back to my entry again. This is when I sent it out on Twitter. This is when I sent it out on Instagram. I didn't really post it on TikTok or anything like that, as far as like just being able to post this trade itself, because I don't know if that'll perform well or something like that. But I did talk about it on live, right? Once you broke through here, you ended up gapping up overnight. So the market opened up at 366, or not the market, but UNH opened at 366, and then we ran to about 374. So everyone who took the trade yesterday, they opened up at about 100%, because you didn't have to deal with the drawdown that I had to deal with. Like at this point up here at like 374, my contracts at most were up like maybe 50%, right? And me, 50% is cool, but I'm looking for a bigger move. I'm looking for bigger profits, especially with the amount of money I'm trading with, right? So I'm looking for something a little bit bigger, right? Which is fine. But for the people who got in early, right, who got in yesterday, you know, you woke up to 100%, which is why on my Instagram, you guys will see in my stories, you know, people making $400, $500. Like maybe I can just open it up right here on this phone and I'll just show you guys so y'all can see it. So these are people, hold on, like y'all not gonna be able to see it. Like these are people who are making money from this trade that I sent out, and they're just literally at me on Instagram. You're not gonna be able to see it as much, but you guys can check for yourself. But you know, the key concept or the key setup and why I sent this trade out just from here on a daily time frame. So remember when I told y'all, who was in here when I'm pretty sure majority of you guys were in here last time I talked about this, right? Yeah, it's based on a daily time frame. So for me, I find all of my setups, not all of them, right, but majority of my setups are coming from higher time frames. And I think that, you know, granted, I'm not throwing shade to no other trader. You know, whatever way works for them, works for them. I just think that it's not the best way to trade when you're starting off going to the 5 minute, in the 10 minute, in the 3 minute, in the 1 minute. Bro, do not, I'm telling you, you're cooking yourself, right? Because you don't have the experience yet to be able to dictate when to get in and out off of a 5 minute chart. You haven't been trading that long. You need to work with higher time frames first, because these trades take more time. And you know, slowly what you'll realize is like day trading is great, but like when you're able to just sit in a swing trade or sit in a trade for longer than a week, right, or longer than 4 or 5 days, you get more comfortable with trading. You get way more comfortable with trading, right? I'm up 1,000% on UNH. Let's go, Ray. Shout out to you, bro. So again, the way I found this specific setup is just a break of a key level. 362 was a recent resistance level. All I did was I waited for it to break. Once we broke here on this yesterday, I called it out. And then all you had to do was take the trade. And then now, you know, UNH is about 370. So even if you did, you know what I'm saying, if you sold at open, you know, you still caught a $6 move. Now, did it give more? Yes. Did it end up pulling back some? Yeah. But it is what it is because we bought time on the contracts. Does this make sense? Does this explanation and this breakdown make sense to you guys? Drop a yes down below if that makes sense. For a longer time frame, don't you worry about time? No, because you buy more, you buy further out. Appreciate that. I keep saying I'm gonna do day trading, but I know I am now hearing swings and I'm interested. Exactly. So we got Coinbase breaking out here as well. So look at this. This is the same example. Look at this. So Coinbase is a great trade to take for a swing. So where is this concept coming from? Why am I talking about Coinbase? Well, look at this resistance that we just broke through. This blue line right here, I'm gonna delete this one, but this blue line right here was resistance in the past. At one point it became support, and then now it was resistance, and now we're breaking through resistance as well again. So another thing is, look at this candle. The way that this is moving shows you that, hey, there's buyers and they want to see this go higher. So a target that you would put on Coinbase is about 400, right? That's the level that I would look for. You got 400, which is a round psychological number, okay? And then you also have 416. Okay, so what do you do when you see a trade like this? You're saying, hey, Coinbase is breaking out. Another reason you would want to take this trade is because Bitcoin is breaking out higher, right? So if I were to go, I'm taking a guess here, right? But if I were to go look at Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is also moving higher here. We're back near 124. If we break above 125, we could see 130, right? So Coinbase a lot of the times will move with Bitcoin. When Bitcoin goes higher, MSTR, Bitcoin, MSTR, Coinbase, Riot, Mara, these Bitcoin stocks or Bitcoin mining stocks will move higher as well. Okay. Is my audio good, guys? Let me know in the chat. Drop a yes in the chat if the audio is still good. So Coinbase here, now that I have this set up, yes, okay, cool. So watch this. Now that you have this set up and you look left and you see where price can go, next is then you check the flow. So you find the setup, then you check the flow, right? So then I come over here and I say, hey, is smart money thinking the same thing that I'm thinking? Is the whales, the people on Wall Street, are they thinking the same thing that I'm thinking? Let's find out. Oh, they are. Look at this, $58 million in calls. 90% of them are calls, or $58 million in premiums, which is how much money is being put in right now. And 90% of them are calls. So guess what? If you scroll down, look how much money is being put here. This is what I'm talking about. Is this clicking for some of you guys in here? You find the setup, you see if the flow is matching up with it, and then you can look for the trade then. So you got 2 million here, 20 million in calls here, 4 million, 4 million, 4 million, 4 million, 4 million, 2 million, right? They know shit. 7 million in calls here, right? They know something. This is Trady Ticks. Trady Ticks. TradyTics. Right? So this is me aligning with the flow. So now I'm saying, okay, smart money is thinking the same thing. The charts are also aligning. Bitcoin is looking like it's breaking higher. So now there's no reason for me not to take the trade. Now I can say, hey, I'm going to go look for the correct contracts on Coinbase. So you might go to, maybe next week contracts or a week after, right? And you might buy something that, is out of the money, right? Look at that lonely put. Yeah, he's in there by himself getting smoked, getting cooked. Now, is flow always good or always right? No, right? No one's 100% of the time right. Doesn't matter how much money you're trading with. No one's always right. But the thing you got to take into consideration is look how much of them are on the same side, right? So if I come over here, let me go back, right? Look how many of them are looking at calls. I mean, there's very few puts, and they are getting absolutely just torched, right? So you can look to take this trade now. So if I were to give you a signal, what I would look at is I would say Coinbase, either go next week or the week after calls, and then maybe do like maybe 415 calls, maybe 420s. If you go next week, if the contracts are too expensive, you can go further out of the money. But Yeah, if you have a bigger account, say like some of you guys in here, some of y'all are trading with more than 5K. So if you have over a 5K account, you have to choose and dictate what's a good amount for you to take with this trade per your account size. So let's say, you know, some of you guys, let's say, let's say you have a 25K account, then I probably would only go into this trade with maybe $600, maybe. But you see what I'm saying? Like, stop trying to make money fast, bro. Like, just do your thing. Look, you don't grow account. Like, granted, now, are there some people going to tell you differently? Sure. But like, look at this account. I'm going to show you guys this, right? Like, this account, I didn't just go in and start nuking shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just compound. I'm looking for small percentage gains on lump sums of money, right? Let me move this over so you guys can see it. All right, so look at this. I'm not like trying to just hit home runs out the gate. You know what I'm saying? Or trying to do nothing crazy. Move to the right. I got it now. Should be good. Hold on, let me check. Okay, yeah. Like, this stuff that I'm doing is just like, I'm looking for strategic wins, and then I have another account that I take trades out, majority of my trades in, right? But some of these are just leaps. Some of these are just literally swings, right? But I say all this to say, if you're gonna grow an account, grow it the right way. Don't try to hit home runs all the time. Just compound your account, grow the account, right? Do you buy and sell in the daily? Not every single day. You know, sometimes it's a swing trade. So like on an account size like this, you know, I'll enter a trade with maybe 5K. Right? I'll enter a trade with maybe 5K. And then with 5K, you know, I might be able to get, you know, some Coinbase 2-week out contracts for, you know, at $400 calls. Then if those go in the money, now they stack, right? They compound even higher. So a lot of the times it's like being able to identify, you know, opportunities and just pulling the trigger on them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think a lot of people try to overthink it or try to complicate this stuff. It's like, look for key levels, see if the flow matches up. If it does, take the trade, right? So Coinbase is a great trade, right? Honestly, like, I would go next week contracts. If you go next week, you go 415s, right? Is it possible you have a gap to fill at 413? I mean, you never know. We could break 400 and immediately go fill the gap. So there's a free trade that you guys can use right there. But yeah, we broke down UNH as well. The market is closing in on the last 15 minutes before we close. Meta is just, I might have to put Meta on the ban list. What website was the one you were showing us? That was Trading Ticks. I keep hearing selling puts is more reliable. It's a more strategic way of making money. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not as much momentum. It's definitely not as much momentum as, you know, trading. Like, you'll definitely be able to grow an account and compound it because you're selling the contracts to people. People trade. Meta fried me, yeah, it cooked me too. No lie. Meta absolutely smoked me. Do you do both? I don't sell puts or calls. I don't sell contracts. I'd rather do leaps. If I'm gonna use all that money, I'd rather just do leaps. Or if you just have a ton of shares sitting around, then yeah, you can do it, but not my cup of tea personally. All right, so we're in the last 15 minutes of the day. I'm probably not gonna take a SPX end of day trade. We'll see. So basically, you trade smart money concepts using support and resistance breaks and retest with order blocks. Basically. Do you plan to open your Discord back up in the near future? Yes. This Sunday, I'll be opening up, I think, 6 or 7 spots into my Discord. So yeah, all you have to do is click this button right here, this orange button. It should be an arrow. If you guys click this, you'll be able to reserve a seat to the free live trading workshop via Zoom. It's 100% free. There's no card options on it. Unless you want to buy like a VIP kit, which will kind of prep you before the class. You guys can click this and you will reserve a seat. And if you want that, you can grab it. If not, you just click no on the website. Simple market structure. Yeah, everything's pretty much the same. You know what I'm saying? It's just the style. Live trading this Sunday? No. So this Sunday, I'll be breaking things down through a PowerPoint. The strat, smart money concepts, risk management, how to grow an account. If you have a 9-to-5, this is specifically for you. If you have active income, if you have over $3,000, this is specifically for you guys. Anyone else who has under that amount of capital, you should just go watch the free course. It's about 7 hours long. That'll give you all the basics and all the stuff that you really need to get down. You can find that in my bio. All right, took a October 17th on Coinbase, 417.50, 2 contracts. Let's go. Let me know how it plays out. If Bitcoin breaks 125 today, I mean, that thing is cruising. You can see 400 on Coinbase, I mean, literally before the week is up. I would not be surprised. Shout out to my clippers. Clip it when it happens. I need the post. You know what I'm saying? So we got Apple selling off here. Nvidia is back under 190. Meta is just getting destroyed. UNH is pushing through with a little bit of strength here. We need UNH to close above, I would say, 372. If we can get that closed, that'll be great. AMD new all-time highs. That's pretty lit. Shout out to everybody that caught AMD. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that caught it. It was a crazy trade. Easy follow. Yo, appreciate you, my brother. Or is wait? Hold on, wait. Oh yeah. Appreciate you, my boy. Do you think XRP will ever hit $5? I don't know, man. XRP warriors, y'all going through it. Bro, I just buy Bitcoin, man. I keep things simple. Buy as much Bitcoin as humanly possible because your dollar is getting absolutely destroyed. The dollar is getting annihilated. Okay, so let's see here. So we're in the last, we got 10 minutes left in the market. I appreciate you. All of this endless blessings to you. Absolutely. I appreciate you for pulling up. It's all love. All right, so I'm going to set up my chart to try to maybe catch a trade on SPX. So here's what I'm going to do. So here's how I trade SPX end of days. So I go, this is already on SPX. So I go SPX. I'm going to pull this up right here on a 3-minute time frame. Right here. So this is the 3-minute. The only time I go down to the 3-minute is during the end of the day, during the last 10 minutes of the day. Heard about you through a podcast on YouTube. Love to hear your story and thank you for sharing your knowledge. Yo, thank you, Vita. I appreciate you. That's all love. I appreciate it. Just doing my thing, minding my business, you know. What podcast did you watch? Which one did it come from? So what I'm looking for specifically here is I'm looking for a setup off the 3-minute. I'm looking for a specific type of candle. It's either a 3-bar or a failed 2, and I'm looking to take the candle after that. If it doesn't happen, it's all good. I'm also looking to see if there is there's volume. So right now this is showing me that there's a lot of volume coming in. What I'm going to also do is I'm going to look up SPX here at the bottom, and I'm going to pull up the 15-minute because I need to see the overall bigger picture. So look at this. We're triggering a higher time frame break if we break above this level right here. If we break above this level, it's possible we could come back up and maybe break 67.55. So this is how I'm looking at this on the smaller time frames, right? So do I take this break? Not just yet. It's 350. If it does trigger, I won't take it immediately. The Caleb Johnson Show, that's my guy. I probably won't take the entry immediately. If you guys want to, you can. I like to wait until like the last 3 minutes. So even now, I could have literally took this entry. Look at this candle's close. When you have a candle that closes like this, if you look at the body of this candle, this is a lot of buyers that are stepping in and being in control right now. So the next thing you want to see is for this to flip back green and maybe break higher. We're already at all-time highs, so you got to really be careful at this level. This is all resistance, these 2 levels. So right now I'm just waiting. Oh my goodness. Oh my. Does it come crashing back down? We'll see. If my setup doesn't come, I don't take the trade. Yo, we only at 2,300 likes. If you guys can give me the 10K likes, I'll give you guys another trade idea, okay? I have no idea why this shit is lagging. I'm glitching. Hold on, let me see something real quick. Okay, let me know if it's better now. Okay, so there's the break here at 67.55. Good now? Okay, cool. Yeah, better. Okay, cool. Thanks, Kels. Appreciate you. Let's see how this closes out. I don't know if I want to take this specific setup today. We'll see though if it gives us anything. So I'm primarily watching the 3-minute, which is this chart right here. If something comes up that I like off the 5-minute, you can look for that, but I'm primarily watching the 3-minute. The 15-minute just showed me that we were breaking out, and now we retested these highs that I was just talking about. So now I'm just seeing, does this hold or does it fold back down? We'll see. Oh my gosh, this shit keeps doing this. I'm gonna open up Robinhood. We'll take a look at SPX. Okay, so it looks like it wants to sell off there. We'll go 0 days. So the put side, I don't know if I trust this just yet. What I can do is I can wait for this 5-minute candle to close before looking for an entry. So this 5-minute, well, it was looking better. This closes in about 40 seconds. What are the numbers at the bottom of the candle? These are the strat. This is called the strat. So if it touches the line, that's a sign of it testing, yeah. Let's see here. Okay, so it might actually break back higher here. Let's see what happens. And if I do take this trade, I'm gonna go in super light. Looks like it's gonna go down. We won't know yet, because trust me, around 357 is usually when the move starts to happen. So I want to wait for this candlestick to close. I want to see how this candle closes. So we're about to find out. So we might flip into a 3-bar here if we break above this high. We just got to see first. This candle doesn't close for another minute though. Let me lock in real quick. QQQ sees 611.50, so you never know. You might see SPX run as well. IWM is running. Tech is just going crazy. Let's see what happens here. The volume's kind of slowing up a little bit, but let's see if it starts picking up at 357. This looks like indecision. Fell 2 up, fell 2 down. Gotta be careful right there. Gotta be careful trading right here. Let's see. All right, so that's 5 seconds on this candle. Okay, so let's see what this does. Do we break higher? QQQ is running, so it's possible SPX could run higher. Let's just wait and see. So this candle hasn't been broken yet. So you can use this candle as a guideline. You can take the break of this candle here. So right now we're still inside. So it looks like it wants to break the buy side. Still hasn't broken it just yet. QQQ is still going higher, so I'm going to take this here. hasn't broken just yet, so I'm gonna wait until this candle breaks. I have the contracts loaded up though, so if it breaks this candle, I'll take it. If not, then I'll let it go. Still hasn't triggered. This is trading view, what I'm looking at right now. Okay, you got QQQ selling off a little bit here. So the trade still hasn't triggered yet. See, notice how it's still inside this candle. So now that I see the volumes dying out, we're heading into like the last minute. I don't think I want to touch this. I'll give it a couple more seconds. Okay, yep, nope, I'm good. So more than likely won't play out the way I would have liked it to. Notice how it's kind of selling off to the downside now. Now, it doesn't give me enough time for these contracts to pay me the way they would need to get paid. So this is just not a trade that I'm going to take right now. So notice how I was looking for a specific type of candle, right? Around a specific time. Normally it happens around 357. When it doesn't happen, I don't force a trade. I'm not in a rush to make money. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I'm doing, what I'm showing up to do is just follow my plan. So today, the market just didn't meet the criteria for me to take that specific trade. Did you guys see that? Like, does that make sense as far as how I'm explaining it? Right? The trade didn't pan out. We never broke the high or the low of this candle right here, and the volume slowed up. There's no reason for me to take this trade because the market closes in literally 7 seconds. So drop a yes in the chat if that makes sense. Yep, and then it doesn't even close it. So I would have lost whatever amount because the theta is so high on those contracts. I would have lost whatever amount I would have threw at that easily. That would have been a 2-minute L, quick L. Okay, and then I'll just basically change my charts back over here. So now we can go through like different lessons and different tickers, and I can just kind of teach you guys a couple different things here. Coinbase actually closed above 387, so that looks really good. I'm trying to buy a course. Do you know anyone who sells one? I don't have a course, but I have a free videos you can watch. Kind of. So were you looking for the candlesticks to stay within the 2 blue lines? No, I was looking for this candle. I was looking for it to break above the previous candle, break above or below to show me who's in control. But it never happened. So now let's actually get into looking at a few different trades, okay? So Coinbase, this looks really good on a higher time frame. I really like Coinbase to maybe 416 where this level is up here. If you come over here and you look on the left, hold on, let me see, let me pull this up. Okay, I really liked this level here. If Coinbase can get through 400, we can probably see 416 pretty quickly. So you just gotta wait for this level. The best thing to do is just mark off the levels and then set alerts. So the best way to set an alert is you just click here, click this little plus, and then click add alert. And then it'll alert you on your phone or whatever platform you're on. What are leaps? Leaps is when you buy contracts that are further out, right? So like a year out, 2 years out. They tend to cost way more money, but they're the safest option. So we had Coinbase. ASTS actually went today. Let me take a look at this. Gave the 3-2 here. Not bad. Let's look at how do you know who's in control? Based off market structure. If the market is making higher highs and higher lows, then you know buyers are in control. If sellers are, or if the market is making lower highs and lower lows, sellers are in control. If you're looking to see who's in control for the day, you would look at higher time frames. So a setup that I've been talking about a lot with my community, and we talked about this in last night's class, is trading off the 1 hour time frame, and just having levels, marked off. So right now we're looking at IWM. So, yesterday we seen quite a huge sell-off here, and majority of the market sold off around this time, and we just ended up rebounding it. So on a bigger scale, right? If you were to just zoom out, this pullback here still never broke the structure, right? Like this, we're still making higher highs and higher lows. If you look at this high, you look at this high, this high, this high, these highs are all higher than the recent one. When you're looking at these lows down here, these are higher lows. So even this dip right here, right, it still never broke. Like technically it did by breaking this structure, but more confirmation would have been breaking this support level right here. That would have been better confirmation, which it didn't. It came down and it bounced, right? So if you came over here, if you trade the strat, if you have been coming to my classes, not classes, but these lives, right? These live streams, I talk about the strat a lot and what these candlesticks mean. There's videos in my bio if you guys want to understand these candlesticks and the indicators and all that stuff. There's free videos in my bio, so you can check it out. But one of the things is like understanding actionable signals, right? So, if you come back here and, rewind this, right? This candle right here is an actionable signal, right? What is an actionable signal? A 3-bar, a candle that has volatility. I'm waiting to see who's in control. But remember, right? So if I turn off Lux Algo, right? Charts look a lot cleaner. If I turn this off, remember, right? I don't know if I taught this in a TikTok live, but I'll kind of talk about it right now. I talk about candlestick anatomy a lot, which is like reading a candlestick and understanding what the body of the candlestick is telling you, because each and every candlestick is telling you a different story, right? What I mean by this is, this candlestick right here, although it's purple, it is a bearish candlestick. This is bears or sellers are in control, right? Right now we're looking at the 1 hour. So what you're doing is you're looking and reading this entire wick, and you're seeing this. And if you understand what a wick is, right? Basically a wick is price rejecting a level. It doesn't like being down there, right? So price got all the way down here at one point in time, and then buyers stepped back in, pushing this back up. So price didn't like being down here. So what this wick is telling me is that buyers took back control from here to here. So automatically, when you read a candlestick like this, right, the first thing you're thinking of is, I know who's in control now based off of the wick of the previous candle. Does this make sense? Drop a yes in the chat if everything is making sense so far. Drop a yes in the chat if this is making sense so far. Okay. Yes. I need to see more yeses, more yeses. We got 300 people in here. I gotta see way more yeses just to make sure. Yes, I'm new here and it makes sense. Okay, good. Perfect. That's perfect. If someone's new in here and it makes sense, perfect. Okay. So this wick is telling me a story. So buyers stepped back in and they took control. So automatically, if you're looking at this on the 1 hour, you already know when the next candle opens that buyers are in control. Where's the confirmation of this though? The confirmation of buyers being in control is breaking above the previous candle. This is confirmation, right? They already pushed it up. I need the next candle to open and then break higher, and then I'll take the entry, because this is confirmation that buyers are in control. So look what happens with the next candle. When it breaks, you take the break as soon as it happens, right? So as soon as you start seeing buyers are in control, they push this back up and it breaks above these pre-market highs, you take the entry, right? You take the entry. And again, you have to have good risk management, right? Trading is all good and shit, and it looks all cool until you blow on accounts, until you just losing all this money, right? You got to have good risk management, which is why I tell people, like, even if you take one of my signals, if you follow me on Instagram or if you follow me on Twitter, and like I send out free signals. So it's like, if you take a free signal, right? Granted, I love to see when y'all win big, but like, I don't want y'all losing big too, right? Like, I want you to still practice good risk management. Just because the trade is coming from me does not mean that I know everything. I don't. Right? There's going to be trades that I send out that don't work, because my win rate is like around a 73% win rate, right? My win rate is based off my strategy. So I am factoring in losses. If you're only looking at this as he's the teacher, he knows what he's talking about, he has all this money, he doesn't take losses, then you're going to size in more. That's not what you should be doing. Okay? So you still want to size in correctly, position yourself correctly. Okay? So when this candlestick breaks, I'm going to mark this off, right? We broke this level. This is where you take calls. So now, where's my targets though? So remember when I told y'all, right? If you weren't in here, I'll just rephrase it again. You gotta be able to look left and know where price can go. So at one point we had this gap here, right? This is why I marked it out. This is a gap fill. This is a level, right? This is a level 245.94. This is a target, right? So when I entered this trade above this blue line, where can price go? Well, the first target is here. Second is an order block. Now, order block is going to be a little bit more advanced. It's a part of smart money concepts, but it's a little bit more advanced, right? But this is just another level, right? Okay. So you got target 1, 245.94. You can sell some of your contracts or you can exit your position. If price gets to 246.30, you can sell some more of your contracts. You can get out of your position. And then your next target is up here. PMH means previous month highs, right? Previous month highs. So now I'm looking at a higher time frame target, right? On the monthly time frame, this is a target, and then that's 247.17. So watch, right? You take the trade here and you be patient, right? You're watching on the 1 hour. Look what happens. Target 1, target 2 gets hit. Now you're saying, okay, do you fully exit your position here, or do you let it go more and see if it can take out these highs or this previous month high? Well, let's say you let it ride, right? Look what happens. Price pushes up again. You're reading these candlesticks, right? And you're like, okay, buyers are still in control, right? You had a sell off, so we had a break above, and now we're retesting it, and look what happens. We come back down, we retest this VWAP, and then this is where price is. So it never got here, right? So like, these are people, right? So like, don't just take my word for it. You know, there's people in this group that I run, right, in my Discord, who do this, right, of all sizes, of all account sizes. So look at this, right? This person hit 425% on a trade. That's $100 into $425. This is 200% on IWM. It's the same concept. Everything that I'm teaching y'all, they just get more in-depth teachings and education and like handholding when they're in the Discord. But when I'm on these streams, I'm literally giving y'all some of the same information that they're getting. They just know how to execute it better because there's more to it, right? You just kind of get the outside view of what you should be doing. When you get deeper into the Discord, this is where things start aligning more, right? Amy, 143% on her trade, right? You know, I send out these levels, 350%. This is all on IWM, by the way, right? So like, a lot of times it's like, you know, what I'm teaching y'all may go over some people's head, right? Like, notice how there's like a lot of BS going on in the chat, right? Discord link is, my Discord is currently closed right now. Sorry, we've hit capacity at the moment. I'll be opening up spots Sunday. So if you want to secure a spot, if you have a 9 to 5, if you have a few $1,000s liquid, if you have over $3,000 and you're already trading and you want to learn more, just click this button right here and reserve a free seat to the Zoom call. Again, I'm only seating 500 people. Currently, we have like 430 something registrants. So if you click right here, you'll be able to reserve your seat. Once we hit 500, that's going to be capacity for Sunday. Okay. Back to what I was saying. A lot of these concepts that I'm telling y'all, I think it's just because, you know, it sounds easier when you're teaching it. It's just about watching it when you're doing it in the market, right? When the market is open, when a candlestick is moving, it's way different ballgame because your emotions are involved, money is involved. So naturally you're going to be euphoric, right? Naturally you're going to be on a higher high, right? And if you keep scrolling through here, you know, you'll kind of see a lot of these people who are winning, right? Like if I keep scrolling through this, right, you'll see endless wins, right? And this isn't even our profits channel. This is just where we show up and we talk and we send different things. But like IWM is something we do every day, right? 100% here, 231% here, right? If you keep scrolling up, right, you got a whole bunch of talking, right? Shout out to my boy Pat. He made like $800 this day, right? 18% on the account. Oracle, let me keep scrolling up, right? IWM, 100%. So like, you know, the thing is like these strategies that I'm telling you, you just got to execute them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just got to keep showing up. Look, SPX, a lot of these execution and finding tickers that make sense for you. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this is just this part right here in the Discord. Are you gonna tell us about gamma, vega, and theta? No. There's YouTube. You look again, right? Let's rewind it and go through it. So watch this. This candle here, and I taught this in last night's class, right? I don't know why my stream is lagging. You guys should be able to hear me now, right? I taught this last night in our Zoom call that I do in my Discord on Tuesdays, right? And you know, it's about just monitoring actionable signals on 1 hour, right? So this is a 1 hour 3-bar, which is an actionable signal. You mark out the high and the low of this candle, and you're basically waiting until the next candle breaks above or breaks below, right? So what you're doing is you're saying, hey, I'm gonna wait until the next candle opens, right? Does this candlestick tell me something? Not much, right? I know that at one point buyers were in control and they lost control. So I do know this, right? But now I need confirmation. I'm waiting to see if we break. Where's my targets? Well, this is a first target. This is a second target. Back down here is a third target, right? And then you have this super, super large target all the way down here, right? This is an extreme. Okay, this is an extreme target down there. So watch what happens, right? This is an actionable signal. You wait for this trade to trigger. When it triggers, look what happens. Boom. Your first 2 targets are hit in the first hour, right? Of you sitting in this trade, your targets are hit. Cool. Well, where's my next targets? Where else can price go before we bounce? We got this line here. We got this level here. All of these levels I'm finding on a higher time frame. So watch. Price pushes down. Look at this. Comes right back here to a past level, right? And then once you hit your last target, right, these paid really well for a lot of my members, right? Then we just chop up the rest of the day and consolidate. It doesn't really do much else. So this is what I mean by taking actionable signals. The strat is one of those things where if you learn it, I don't think you'll ever go back to trading the way you used to trade. If you can learn how to learn if you can learn the strat and align it with, you know, other things, whatever other strategy you want to use, you know what I'm saying? I think you will be miles ahead of where you are right now, but it's just about learning it. So you can go watch it on YouTube. I have a video up on YouTube you can watch. There is a free video or a free 7-hour course you can watch on my bio. And then my Discord is currently closed until Sunday. I'm only opening spots on Sunday during the workshop. After that, it will go back to being closed the rest of this month. So if you don't know, if you're new to my streams, I do open and close enrollments for my Discord. The reason I do this is because I'm all about giving people the best experience possible, and I don't feel like you can really do that if you're constantly taking new people in every day. They'll just feel like they're just another person, right? I like to make sure people feel valued and that they get the information that they need and they get the help that they need, which is why I do open and close enrollment. It is not for people who are just looking to come gamble and shit like that. That's why I do it the way I do it. So if you want to reserve a seat to that workshop, you just click right here. Okay, you click right here, you can reserve a seat. This is only for people who have a business that's generating profits and cash flow, people who work a 9 to 5, and people who have over $3,000 liquid to their name, more than $3,000, right? This is specifically for you. So if you qualify for that, click this button right here and register and reserve a seat. If you do not qualify for that, just go click the link in my bio and watch the free course, okay? Where's the Discord link? The Discord is closed right now. Oh shit, my bad, y'all. YouTube, I keep forgetting y'all are over here. My bad. I gotta send the link for y'all in YouTube. Yo, shout out to all the people here in YouTube. It's actually not letting me. Hold on. YouTube, let me see if it'll let me type in the chat. Okay, there it is. Shout out to everybody here on YouTube. There's the link right there for all my people on YouTube. I just typed it in the chat for you guys. Okay. Is trading like sports betting? I wouldn't compare those two because there's so many other things that go into trading, right? Like you have to really here's some stuff that I use, resources, right? So if you guys in the morning, before you start trading, before the market opens, you can go over to CNBC if you download the app, and you guys can go through the top news section and it'll give you all the insights that you need. So like when someone asked me yesterday, or what was this, Monday, last time I was streaming, they were like, yo, what's your normal morning routine before you trade? And the first thing that I do is I go do my due diligence. I go do research. So I'll open up CNBC and I'll go to Bloomberg and I'll go to Seeking Alpha and I'll go do all these things for the first hour of the day. So after I'm done brushing my teeth, get in the shower, all that stuff, I instantly go to the computer and I open up articles. And the reason that I do this is because the market is changing overnight as well. There's new articles, there's new things going on, there's new partnerships that might have happened right after the market closed, the day before. So you got to go do your due diligence. So if you go over to CNBC, you can go read up on all the stocks that have news, that have big catalysts, new CEOs. They're launching a new product, they're repricing a certain product. You can go see all this stuff from these articles. I do that and then I hit the charts. Then I come over here and I say, okay, well, let me look at, the higher time frame. Let me go to the daily time frame and let me see what I have, right? And then that's when I get more into the charts. But yeah, you're lagging. It should be better now. I'm a fast learner. How long do you think it will take to learn the structured chart? Honestly, I mean, it depends on how you're learning, right? If you're gonna go through like my curriculum, I think it'll probably take you a month, maybe 2 months. To learn it, and then to like really do it and execute it, it's gonna take you a little bit longer. Trading is more predictable versus a player performing even in a good health. Yeah, exactly. Right? Like, what I'm saying? There's people like you can't control if someone pulls their hamstring or something like that the night of your game when they went bowling with their kids. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't really determine if you don't know that that's gonna happen. When you're trading, it's different. You can read charts, you can make analysis, you can make educated decisions, and there's a bunch of different factors that go into trading though. I want to take a look at AMD. So did we actually close at all-time highs is the question. Yo, bro, I got a friend, she does like 15K a month trading options. I'm trying to soak up the game. Yo, that's lit. Welcome in, Sean. That's lit though, bro. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I would say just soak up as much game as possible. I got a bunch of free stuff in my bio, so if you want to watch a bunch of free stuff, you can. What is up with the chart? Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me see something real quick. Okay, there we go. Oh my gosh, look at this. Did I send this out? I did send this out today. Oh my gosh. I don't even think I did have the alerts. It did go off. I just didn't take the trade. Oh my gosh, bro. This thing took off. And it's going higher during pre-market or post-market. Oh shit. Okay. So watch this, right? I'm going to pull up the Discord. So inside of here, I send out signals during our pre-market calls. So if we go over to day trading signals. Oh my gosh, I didn't call it out today. And it's literally written down on the iPad. That's cooked. Well, this trade right here is on AMD. This is a 2-1-2 setup, right? Per the strat. So basically you had a day of just straight momentum followed by another day of consolidation. And then you have a second day where we broke the previous candle's high. And then you just see buyers are just in control like this entire time. Like this is a crazy close on the daily time frame. AMD is going absolutely insane, bro. This shit's stupid. How can you trade with all these dots and lines on your chart? You just gotta know what they mean. You gotta know what they mean. That's it. So like even on here, right? If I were to go down, yeah, like this candle right here, right out of the gate, right at open. So if you come back here, you're literally marking previous day highs and lows, right? That's literally all you're doing. You're marking your previous day highs and lows, and then you have your all-time highs target up here. And then when price breaks through, you're just waiting for price to come back up to your target, and then it broke and gave you even more. That thing is printing, bro. Holy shit. Do you enter on the 1 hour only? No, I'll drop down to the 30-minute. I'll enter on the 30 or the 1 hour. What indicators do you use? Okay, here. These are the indicators that I use, guys. Feel free to screenshot it. I think I deserve 20K likes for giving y'all this though, right? Like these are all the indicators that I personally use. You can find all of these on TradingView. So these are my indicators. I use the 50%er, Lux Algo, you gotta pay for this one. Sadie ATR levels, Strat Assistant, Volume, VWAP Auto Anchored. And then certain days I'll turn off some of these throughout the day. So these are my indicators. I'm moving from the 1 minute up to higher time frames, and it's been a challenge holding. Yeah, I don't know how you do the 1 minute, bro. I couldn't do the 1 minute. Or broker. I use Webull. How much is the pay one? This one is like I think $40 a month. This marks out order blocks and gaps. What do you think about Robinhood Legend? I think it's pretty cool. I like the way that Robinhood is evolving, honestly. Robinhood is a great platform, a great stock to be invested in long term too. You got to really understand the product development and how their product line and how they're evolving. You got to really understand that before just investing into the company. You trade on MetaTrader or 4 or 5? No, I don't trade Forex. Your transparency and teaching style is amazing. Learning a lot. Thank you. I appreciate that, Lena. You know, just trying to make it as simple as possible. You know, now granted, some people are gonna say this isn't simple, but to each is their own. Where can we go to sign up again? So look, if you guys are in TikTok, you click this orange button right here. Okay. If you click this orange button right here, you will be able to reserve a seat to this Sunday's class. I'll open up spots to my Discord then. Other than that, it will stay closed the rest of this month. So if you don't come to this class, you will not be able to enroll. If you're in YouTube, I will type the link for you down below. Bam. There's the link for you guys right there. And you just reserve a seat. I'm about to get you to 20K likes. Alone, I already got you at 11K. Yo, that's love, man. I appreciate you for real. That's crazy. One person is steamrolling it. Can somebody else join him, please? Help a brother out. If I'm giving y'all some game, if you guys like the information, let me know down below in the chat, and make sure you guys leaving a like. Get the stream up. It helps a lot. Okay, so let's look at another ticker. So a ticker that I wanted to look at today was Tesla. Now, I didn't want to take this because it stayed in this box outside of this breakdown lower. What I did like is that we held 432. So here on Tesla, tomorrow, a lotto trade for this week would be Tesla above 440. Well, about 439.68. If Tesla can get through 439.68, it can see 450, maybe even 453. When Tesla gets through 453, 465 is the ultimate level that you want to look for. These are levels that I had already marked out from the past. So if you guys come up here, right, we ended up coming back down. We broke lower, but we ended up retracting and coming back higher. And what I like about this is that it defended this 432 level. Recently, it had trouble defending this in the past. Oh, you guys can't see all the way back over there. So recently it had trouble defending this level or holding this level, but today it did. So if we can see more bullish momentum and more volume tomorrow or even Friday, you know, calls above 440, target 453 would be really nice. If you go next week, contracts are going to be a little bit more expensive, but you could definitely target like 453 all the way up to like 465. Are you doing options as well? Yeah. This isn't a bad trade at all. Like, I actually really like this trade. I would rather see the consolidation. So like, look at this. If you go to the daily time frame, right? Like, it came back into this box right here, and I want to wait for it to kind of like build a base. So like, we found support here multiple times, and now we're doing it again, making a lower high or a higher low. I'm sorry. So now I want to see, hey, this is an actual actionable signal as well. So like tomorrow, if you were looking for Tesla, you know, you can take calls above 441.50 and just align it with the daily time frame. So like calls above this level right here, and then target 450 and 453 and then 456. those would be the targets that I would have. Do you do 3-day options or longer? It depends on the day of the week. So if it's like Monday or Tuesday, I'll do weeklies. If it's like anything after Tuesday, I'll go a week or 2 weeks out. More recently, I've been doing a lot more swings though. It's been way more comfortable for me, and it's been a little bit easier for me to just be more confident in the trades because I have more time on them. That's something that I'm evolving more into, is just swinging more often. You giving a good game? Yo, thank you, Lucy. Or is it Lucci? Sorry if I butchered that. All right, thank you for the sub. Ingrid, thank you for the sub. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. But yeah, it depends on the day of the week. Solid advice. That's love. Confluence with indicators. Wait. Do you explain any indicators? Why? Because once if I learn the strategy, I would like to understand. Wait. Yeah, I teach the entire strategy in my Discord. I don't have any YouTube videos on it, but if you guys watch the 7-hour course, it goes over some of the same stuff, but on a foundational level. All of the more advanced stuff is inside of my Discord. But you can get more of this information on Sunday. I have a whole PowerPoint for those of you who enroll for Sunday's live workshop. So just click right here, and I'll be teaching you the strat. I'll be teaching you smart money concepts like order blocks, key levels. We'll talk about risk management. We'll talk about growing your account, like compounding your account. We'll talk about all those things at the workshop. So just click here. Sunday's free. Yes, Sunday is a free workshop. The second name you said, oh, Lucci. Okay, cool. What platform are you using, bro? This is TradingView, but I trade on Webull. What is the purple candle? It is a 3-bar. I'm on Trade Locker. I use Webull. I don't trade futures. How often do you do workshops? I've only done one other one, and that was last month, so not super often at all. Can you do this on an iPhone? You can take a trade on an iPhone, but charting, you can do it. Like, you can download TradingView, but I would recommend charting on a computer or iPad. What time on Sunday? It's at 7 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. What does a 3-bar mean? If you guys don't know about the strat, make sure you guys watch the video on my YouTube. It goes over the strat, and it breaks down the candlesticks and why I believe it's one of the most why I feel like it's just the best strategy for me personally, and I can explain it to you why I think it will work for you. On Trading Ticks, you go over to Options Flow. What's a good beginner trading platform? Either Webull or Robinhood. I don't want to pay you, bro. You don't have an option to pay me. Like, here's the thing. First off, you don't have an option to pay me. There's no card options that I'm giving you right now. So first, I agree with you. I don't want you to pay me either. Second is, you're going to pay somebody at some point in time, right? You're going to pay your market tuition. That's one thing I guarantee you. Second, you're going to pay either way. You're either going to pay in money or you're going to pay in time to learn. So it's like, I don't want you to learn from me, honestly. Like, I don't want you to pay me. You probably would not be a great fit for who I teach, for the audience that I'm looking for. And that's fine. You got to find somebody else that resonates with you. Or you can go out there and you can do it on your own, respectfully. But the biggest thing is, like, you're going to pay either way. So, like, you either going to pay in the market, right? Or you going to pay in time. One is more valuable than the other. One thing I've been doing is I've been studying very wealthy people, and all of them value their time more than they value money. So when it comes to a decision on will I sacrifice more of my time or sacrifice more of my money to learn this skill, network with this person, get in touch with this company, 10 times out of 10 they're gonna do the money, because speed is everything. Like, that's one thing. If you look at the most successful people in the world, look at why Amazon is so great of a company, right? They focus on speed, right? They focus on getting things to you as quickly as possible. So speed is everything. Now, how quickly you want to learn, how bad do you want it, that's up to you to determine. I don't know that. Is the class free? Nah, bro. What books you recommend? I have a whole list of books, but like, I don't have, my camera can't, like, because it's connected, Books that I would recommend though, a low-key could just get up and get them, but I don't really feel like getting up. For trading, I would say Trading in the Zone, The Disciplined Trader. Those are the two books that I would say everyone needs. If you're going to be trading, go ahead and order them off of Amazon. Just books in general to read, you know, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, The Psychology of Money, The Millionaire Neighbor Next Door, The Bitcoin Standard, Thank God for Bitcoin, Who Moved My Cheese. I know I'm listing off a bunch of them, but like, I read a lot. Like, you're a stratter, that's so nice. Yes. Shout out to all the people that trade the strat. I read a lot. Like, if I were to say like what's different between me and most people is like this trading view, right? Yeah, this is. The biggest difference between me and most people is I read. Like I read. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm obsessed with getting information. And I think that a lot of people don't have the same level of drive behind getting information, because I've personally experienced what getting information can do to your life and for your family. And like, I just think being educated is such, like, even if you're trying to, like, in a dating world, right? Like, a lot of times, like, I've even noticed, like, people of high intellect, when you have conversations, it's so much easier for a vibe to be caught, if that makes sense. Like fellas, like, this is what I would say. No woman wants to have a low vibrational conversation. And what I mean by that is no woman wants to deal with a man who is not educated, right? Now, are there guys out there that have the money who aren't educated? Sure, and that works for them, right? Because they have something else substitutional, right? But like take it like this, right? The last two relationships that I was in, like, even like my current like relationship, like, she makes a great amount of money and we invest together. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's just important to be educated overall. If your kids come ask you something about money, or if they ask you something about stocks, or they ask you something about X, Y, and Z, you want to be able to answer these questions. And I think that it's the same thing in the dating world. If you're trying to find a compatible person, you should be looking to educate yourself at such a high level that it's easier for you to be compatible with people, because you have something that most don't have, which is education, intellect, the ability to communicate. You know what I'm saying? Like, how you carry yourself. A lot of times too, if you learn a lot of these different books, or from these books, you'll learn persuasion. You'll learn, you know, most people think manipulation is such a bad thing, but like, there is certain times where you do have to know how to manipulate situations. Like, you have to be a masterful thinker. You have to be a masterful communicator. You have to be balanced across all spectrums. So it's like, most people are just going to hear me and it's just going to sound good, right? But like, there's going to be very few people in here who actually understand what I'm saying. And you have to be able to understand these things if you want to excel and get to a certain level in life. 48 laws of power, facts. Right? Like, I talked about this earlier in the video. I don't know if y'all seen it on my page, right? So right now I pay $289 a month for my gym membership. And I was talking to somebody about it, and he was like, yeah, I'd never do that. And I was like, okay, like, you know, when people say stuff like that, I feel like they think it's supposed to like make me feel some type of way, or like make me think differently of it, because most people are so used to just flocking along with what someone else says, that when someone says, okay, you're right, I guess, or, you know, okay, right? It's like they think that there's some way I'm supposed to think of it, right? So here's what I'll say. He was like, you know, I'd rather just pay my $20 membership or my $15 membership, or I'd rather just go to a free gym. And I was like, that's cool. Like, you can do that too. That works, right? And I think the way that I said it, I think maybe, I don't know if it offended him or anything like that, but he was like, you know, like, what was the real reason that you even chose to do that? That's how he said it, right? And the thing is this, right? The same way that he was like, yeah, I would never pay $289 a month for a subscription. That's perfect, because like, I want to be around people who can pay that much money. Because 9 times out of 10, right? Who can all agree with me this, right? I want y'all to comment yes or I agree down below, right? 9 times out of 10, if someone is paying $300 a month for a gym membership, 9 times out of 10, they're doing pretty good in life. Can we all agree on that? Can we all agree on that? If someone is paying $300 a month for their gym membership, they're doing pretty well in life, right? Think about it. If you spend majority of your life in the gym, why not pay a higher price to be in the gym, right? So this is another way to correlate it, right? Most people think when you pay $2,000 a month or $3,000 a month for a car note that you have a lot going good for you in life. Why isn't it the same thing when you pour into yourself physically through the gym, which also helps you mentally and emotionally in various areas of life, right? But when you pay a higher price in the gym, people don't think that. So here's the thing. I was invited to Lifetime Fitness as a guest. It was definitely worth it. 100%. If you know, you know, right? Shout out to you for coming in, right? So here's the thing, right? When he was asking me, like I said, it kind of seemed like he was trying to like get me like more, I don't know what the word is, right? And, I explained it to him. I said, proximity is everything. I want to be around people who don't hesitate to pay $300 a month for a gym membership. And the reason that I said this is because the type of people that you're going to meet, the conversations that you're going to have are going to be completely different. If you can surround yourself around better conversations and better and more like-minded individuals who are trying to do great things in life or already doing great things in life, it will rub off on you a lot easier, and it will be a lot easier for you to be motivated. Right? So when I'm in the gym, right? When I first walk in, right? There are YouTubers in there, right? Like there's streamers who come in there. A couple of the people from AMP work out in there, right? Let me turn my camera back on. 1 second, y'all. Hold on 1 second. My camera's turning back on. Okay, I should be good now, right? So here's the thing, right? I've met streamers in there. I've met more doctors than I can count on my hand. I've met lawyers in there, right? I've met some very huge real estate investors, right? Like there's this one lawyer in Atlanta. I'm not going to say his name because then that kind of be a little federal, right? But there's a lawyer that is in Atlanta that is super known for working with rappers. He works out in the same gym that I'm working out in. These conversations that I'm having with these people, these are average, like not average people, but these are normal people, right? You can have simple conversations. Like if you keep going to the gym and you see somebody, at some point you just go like, hey, what's up? What's going on? Like, and then they ask what you do, right? Lawyers, real estate investors, people in the tech space, right? People in the tech space, people who work tech jobs. There are people at my gym who pay $300 a month who make 6 to 7 figures a year off of their craft, right? There's YouTubers, right? But the best of all is there are other traders there. And the thing is like you're paying for proximity. Here's another thing, right? When I pull up to my gym, there's nothing but Rolls Royces, Lamborghinis, Ferraris. There's fucking Escalades everywhere, right? So it's like the type of people you're around is just different. Eddie, can you block this bot from out of the page if you're still in here? Or if I have one of my mods in here, can y'all just block that page, please? Right? So I'm around all of these people who are doing great things in life. And it's like, one of the things that I've learned is like, the more I'm around individuals who are doing great things, it's easier for me to elevate. And that's why I paid $300 a month for a gym membership. Literally. So like, it's the same thing if you're trading. If you're trading, you want to be talking to other people who are trading at a high level or who are getting to a higher level. You see what I'm saying? So like, it correlates directly to your trading or to other areas of life. You are molding your life based off the conversations that you're having with people. It's a networking hub, exactly. That's all I use it for. I've had people pay me for my time, and they're like I'll say, hey, like someone say, hey, bro, can you teach me trading? And I'm like, yeah, I got you. Like, I got you for the free ski. Like, it's free, right? And they're like, hell no, like I don't like getting stuff for free. Just tell me your price, and I'll tell them my price. I'll like, okay, cool. Like, you want to do just Apple Pay and something like that, like, and then they just pay it right then and there because these type of people have money. So like my gym membership has paid for itself just from having conversations with people who have money, and because I have a skill that they want to learn, they're willing to pay me. Because I might have a business that they're willing to invest in, they'll pay me. Because I know this person, I can make this connection and I can make an affiliate, I can make a commission of connecting these two people. So, I say all that to say, there's certain things in life that you just can't be afraid of. You can't be afraid to spend more money to be around people who do more. People who do more are spending more money because it's easier for them. See what I'm saying? Does that make sense, guys? Like, is everything I'm saying right now just like kind of clicking a little bit, or at least making a little bit of sense? Do you see why, like, other rich people, other well-off people are going to go to places where other well-off people are at? Right? They're not going to, why, like, no, why do you think there's no Rolls Royces in the hood? There's no Rolls Royces in the hood because no rich person want to be around people who don't think rich, who aren't rich. It's just a fucking common math. You know what I'm saying? All right. So if you want to be around other like-minded individuals, if you want to be around other people who are making money, other people who are doing bigger and better things, I would like to invite you to the live trading workshop this Sunday. It is via Zoom. I'm seating 500 people. It's Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern. We currently have like 430 something registrants right now. So if you want to reserve a seat, it is free to join. This is for people who have over $3,000, right? Who have a 9-to-5, or they have a business that is generating income and you want to trade at a higher level. You want to learn the strat. You want to learn order blocks and fair value gaps. You want to learn overall market structure, entries and exits, key levels. If you want to learn all this stuff, or if you already know a lot about it, you want to get more advanced with it, make sure you guys pull up to the live trading workshop. Just click this orange button right here. So if you click that, you'll be able to put your information in. I'll send you over a text message and an email for you to be able to reserve your or have your seat pretty much booked. You'll get confirmation for it once you go through it, and yeah, it'll be a great time for you. I promise you that. My love, thank you so much for the gifted. The best. Tez is the GOAT at explaining the strat. Thank you, bro. Let me actually look at iron and see. Okay, they ended up consolidating today. This actually wasn't the best. Let me see Baba. No. Let me delete this. That pullback. Oh, Shopify. That's what I meant to check out. How you feel about MSTR? I think if Bitcoin can get back to 125, I think MSTR will pop. Shopify doesn't look bad. Let's actually look at MSTR, see how it did today. Yeah, this isn't bad. So we're bouncing from this support level. If you zoom out, we're not that close, but we were pretty close to this level. We ended up bouncing higher today. Honestly, I would have to see MSTR back through 340 though before I would become confident in taking that trade. Before I take this trade, it would have to be back over 340. I couldn't take this trade intraday. It would have to be back over this level right here for me to even be like, I would have through here 353, and then maybe 365 will be my targets. I'm gonna look at Robinhood. Let's see how Robinhood did today. So it had a clean reversal here. This actually wasn't bad. This gap was filled. This gap was filled. I'm gonna just remove this. This is a level. Yeah, man, Robinhood is crazy, bro. I've been buying shares since $33, $36. That is so crazy. Just gotta buy and hold, bro. Just buy and hold. Buy and hold. Yo, guys, thank you guys so much for 22,000 likes. Thank you guys so much. It really means a lot. I need more mods, bro. Right now I can't moderate people while I'm on live through Streamlabs, which is what I'm using to stream across all these platforms. So if you guys didn't know, I'm live on TikTok, I'm live on YouTube, and I'm live on Twitch at the same time. But because it's not directly on TikTok or directly on YouTube, I can't just moderate people right here. But I definitely need moderators, just people who show up consistently and just can just get people out. Yo, Javon, thank you for the badges, bro. Thank you guys for the gifted so much. I really appreciate it. Bro, it's hot as shit right now, bro. The sun is like beaming on me. High key, we just gotta lower this. Oh, whoa. I was getting cooked, bro. So we went through Hood, Meta, Coin, Palantir. Still consolidating the zone. It needs to get through 185. What age did you start trading? So here's the thing. I wasn't trading first. Like I was investing in stocks long term first before I started trading. So I got in the market when I was that 2020? So I was 20 years old when I first got in the stock market. But I already had a successful business, so it was easier for me to just dump lump sums of money into the market. I got started trading like seriously at like 21, and then I quit for a year, and then I came back. So I've been like really, really hardcore on it for like the last 2.5 years, almost 3 years. But I've been in the market like long-term investing and stuff like that. I've been doing that since 2020, so 5 years. But I always tell people it's so much easier to trade when you already have a long-term perspective in the market. Because the market is like, if we're being honest, the stock market is rigged to go up forever. So like, yeah, you're gonna have your pullbacks or whatever, but like if you go back and you look on from a farther out standpoint, the market has been going up for the last century. You know what I'm saying? So like, or like the last, let's just put it 20 years, right? Just been going up and up and up and up and up. You know. Amanda, thank you for the gifted. I appreciate that. Appreciate all the follows. DJ, thank you for the follow. Amanda, thank you for the follow. Yay, thank you for the follow. Yo, we had 283 followers. Or is that real? RE3. Appreciate the follow, yo. That's love. Jay, thank you for the follow. Yo, hit the follow button. I'm about to shout out a bunch of y'all who hit the follow button right now. Just start spam it. Just click it real quick and I'm gonna shout you out. All right, so we got Palantir. Oracle is going on a ban list. This shit is getting smoked. I just started trading in August. So much to learn. Absolutely. Welcome aboard. I know it feels like a lot, but you know, you got this. Me tell you gaming. Appreciate the follow. Dylan, thank you for the follow. Only if you know. Only if. Okay. Well, thank you for the roses. Christopher, thank you for the follow. Tamu or Shawnee, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you guys. Core Weave is still in this box too. AMD, we already know AMD's taking off. Yeah, so I pretty much went through everything I needed to really go over. Yoda, thank you for the follow. Oh my goodness. I trade off Weeble. These meme coins? No, these are stocks. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you so much. I appreciate the gifteds. It's love. Your videos are so clutch, very easy to follow. Thanks, Tez. No problem. I have another long form video coming up on AI and how to use AI to help with your trading. That is being edited by the team. If you guys haven't already, I posted 2 new YouTube videos. One of them is how to read a candlestick. The other one is options trading for beginners. So both those videos are great. If you're a complete beginner, you can check it out on my YouTube just by clicking the link in my bio. Chrome Hearts, thank you for the follow. All right, y'all, my camera just died again. I gotta hop off here because my camera's getting overcooked. So I'll see you guys in the next live. Make sure you guys hit the follow button if you guys want to go watch the old YouTube videos or the new YouTube videos. I'm sorry. Make sure you guys go check it out. I appreciate all the follows, all the love. Make sure you guys register for the live workshop in my bio. Anything free that I have is going to be in my bio as well, so you guys can get all the resources that I have for free in my bio. I greatly appreciate you guys for pulling up. I love you guys dearly, and I will see you guys on the next live. Peace out. And Amanda, thank you again. I appreciate the gifted. All right, y'all. I'll see you guys a little bit later. If you guys have questions, y'all can message me. But other than that, that is, pretty much it. All right, that's pretty much it. All right, guys. Appreciate